you are unaware that the elite of this world engage in secret cloistered meetings out of the view of the press and anyone else for that matter, that they have been doing so since at least the late 1700s based on purely documented evidence widely available, and that they're currently responsible for this secularized, distorted, crazed, backwards world that we live in. If you do not know this, if you're not aware of all this, then you really need to just do your research. You don't need to research people like David Icke, Alex Jones, etc., because the information's available in books and more reliable sources. But do your research and you will find that this is an actual, real phenomenon. For instance, in the 2008 election, both John Kerry and George Bush were members of the secret Yale fraternity, which originated from German mystery schools, around the same time as the founding of the Order of Illuminati in Bavaria, Germany.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look forward...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
And this mysterious cult called Skull and Bones, which boasted both the Democratic and Republican nominee for president in 2008, because in some sense, some people say they believe they have some kind of divine right to rule, but either way, this cult at Yale meets in a secretive building called the Crypt. It's said that they have the skull of Geronimo in there. All kinds of crazy things are said about this place. There's even a movie made about it, called The Skulls, I believe it is. A movie about a college secret society of all the top students. So what is going on that the two presidential nominees in our country are from the same secret society, admittedly? Recently, Alex Jones says that he snuck into Bohemian Grove in Monterey, California, and videotaped secret cult rituals happening, where supposedly world leaders are dressing up in black robes, performing some kind of druidic pagan rites, just like we see in the movie Eyes Wide Shut.
While in New York, we ran into the Karl Rove of 4 administrations: David Gergen, top presidential advisor to Ford, Reagan, George Herbert Walker Bush, and Bill Clinton. We couldn't believe our luck. It just so happens that David Gergen is also a prominent member of the Bohemian Grove, the offshoot of Skull and Bones. This insider of insiders, a staple of the White House for 22 years, got very upset when we brought up Bohemian Grove to him. He didn't deny its existence. He didn't deny that he was a member. He didn't deny the rituals. He just became angry and didn't act very gentlemanly.
Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Great owl of Bohemia, we thank thee for thy adjuration.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials
I'm sorry. You took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film. And did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual genuinely?
Sir, everything. I don't owe you this comment.
I know.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you,
ever
and goodbye.
been in the ritual?
It's none of your damn business.
Oh.
If you've ever seen that movie, you'll know that it's very eerie. It was Stanley Kubrick's last movie that he turned in before he was killed 3 days later after turning in the final print. People say that he exposed too much about the inner workings of the Illuminati, etc. But this particular video at Bohemian Grove is very interesting because we have pictures, photos of these famous people at Bohemian Grove. For instance, there's a picture where you can see Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan sitting at the same table years before either of them were president. So you have two presidents from the same secret society, Skull and Bones, and you have another two presidents from the same secret society, well, two potential presidents rather. John Kerry didn't become president. But then you have another two presidents, Nixon and Reagan, at another secret society, meeting in the woods in Monte Rio where they burn effigies of skulls and recite occult prayers. Is this normal? No. I talked to somebody yesterday who even admitted, yeah, so what that the elite are meeting behind closed doors? So what? That's not a big deal. Okay. How do you explain that behind these closed doors, all of them are absolutely maniacally obsessed with the occult? How do you explain that? That's just some normal thing? No. Something very, 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 very strange is going on here. And I don't have the answers to it. All I have is the questions. The answers are up to you to figure out. But do your own research. Don't just listen to these guys like Alex Jones who want to feed you this propaganda 24/7, this fear-mongering that they're just constantly evil. They're just evil people. They wake up in the morning thinking that they're going to go do evil all day. The answer is much deeper than that. But at least we know that there is an answer and that there is something going on. You can be damn sure that when two of the presidential nominees, the main Democratic and Republican presidential nominee, come from the same secret society, that it's not an accident. You can be sure that when you have the most wealthy and powerfully elite meeting behind closed doors and in the forest in places like Monte Rio, that the intention is more than just to have a little boys club meet and greet. The intention is to solidify their control on their applicants, to solidify and create a cohesive bond between the elite rulers. Also to give them a taste of their occult tradition, perhaps even make them think that they're doing some good in the world, when in actuality, they're doing a tremendous evil. But at the same time, the evil is only done to those who would have it done to them. The evil is only done to those whose karma aligns with it. And the good use this influence for positive gains. Like waking up so quickly after 9/11 was a positive gain. I have a book here called Proofs of a Conspiracy Against All the Religions and Governments of Europe, carried on in the secret meetings of the Freemasons, Illuminati, and reading societies, by John Robinson, collected from good authorities. 1798. This book from 1798. And on page 4 it says, page 3 rather, my curiosity was strongly roused by the accounts given for me in Religion's Begenheiten. This is a book called Religious Occurrences about Freemasonic instances in history. It's a Freemasonic history that the author came in contact with. The author is an accomplished Freemason of the late 1700s, when it was very popular in France and other areas. And he starts to realize that something malevolent is going on. So after he's reading this book, he says, I saw quotations without numbers, systems, and schisms of which I had never heard. But what particularly struck me was a zeal and fanaticism about what I thought trifles, which astonished me. Men of rank and fortune, and engaged in serious and honorable public employments. Men of rank and fortune, engaged in serious and honorable public employments, meaning the elite, were not only frequenting the lodges, the Masonic and occult lodges, secret societies of the cities where they resided, but they were journeying from one end of Germany or France to the other to visit new lodges or to learn new secrets or new doctrines. I saw conventions held at Wismar, Wiesbaden, Kolo, Brunswick, and Wilhelmsbad, consisting of some hundreds of persons of respectable stations. I saw adventurers coming to a city professing some new secret, and in a few days forming new lodges and instructing in troublesome and expensive manner hundreds of brethren. So here you have, in a book from 1798, by an insider, proof that the members of the highest orders of society were not only interested in the occult, but they were journeying across nations just to learn one little secret, occult secret, or to help setting up in some new secret society lodge. And these are banksters and baronesses, kings and popes. Maybe not popes, but kings and bishops and etc., etc. These are major figures in the society who are engaging in this kind of occult and secret society activity. In fact, back in France during the 1700s, this book goes on to say that the type of anti-religious secular fervor sentiment which was coming out of France before and after the French Revolution was cultivated in the lodges. It goes on to say that the Catholic Church found out all too late that these Masonic lodges were being used as breeding grounds for anti-establishment and secular ideas coming from these luminaries. The church was too late in finding out about this, so they were unable to stop it, and before you know it, the church has lost all power in Europe. Perhaps this was, a recompense for the church's attacking and destroying the Knights Templar, because we can really take all of this back even further into the Middle Ages with the assassins and the Knights Templar forming, secret societies based on power and assassination based out of the Middle East. Some people say that they even come further back from Sumerian Babylon and whatnot, and from thence on from demoniac sources. Seems very plausible to me when you have something like this, which is so hard to grasp in a normal sense of things. There has to be some higher purpose here, because it won't go away. It hasn't gone away, and that staying power alone means that it has had an incredible purpose, an incredible role already. We're just not entirely aware of what that role is, or will continue to be. But we can say safely and for sure that there is something going on.